Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Dieters, and I am one of the career coaches here on campus, and I also deal with mentoring and a variety of other career development initiatives. Today, we're going to be talking about building your professional brand. So let's get started. So what is your brand? Hard question for a lot of students. So let's start by knowing what you want, who you are. Then we've got to think about building credibility around it. So if we say a certain way, how do people actually believe it? And we need to deliver it. So the first step in doing that is Googling yourself, which I know you've probably heard in the past. So it needs definitely be something that we have on our to-do list and that we do periodically. So take a look at all of your social media accounts, make sure that you're being portrayed in the light that you would like to be portrayed, not only by employers, but also individuals just in your social circles. You never know where networking opportunities are going to present themselves. So all of your social media accounts are definitely important. Take a look at your privacy settings. If you feel that it's necessary to make those pretty tight, then go ahead and do so. If you feel you don't want everybody to see every single social media post, then you probably want to take a look at your privacy settings. Are you using LinkedIn? Hopefully you are. And if you have a LinkedIn account, we definitely have specific ideas to make your LinkedIn as attractive as possible and really help deliver your brand. So we'll talk about that in a second. And again, definitely search your name periodically. You want to take a look, are others tagging you? Maybe there have been times where you haven't seen some different things added on to social media accounts that you're connected to. So it's important to keep on top of that because again, there could be some things out there that would put you or individuals that you're connected to in an unflattering light. If we're going to take a look at LinkedIn, we've got a variety of different reasons why it's important. You can find alumni who studied the same field as you, work at companies that interest you. An easy way is using the linkedin.com/alumni, and you can choose Xavier and take a look at where all of our alumni are, alumnus are, and then you can see if you can get connected to them. You can find professionals that have jobs that interest you. So you can find out, how they get there. What was their first job? What type of internships did they take? Where did they do those internships? What were their majors, minors, additional coursework that you might want to adjust yours? You could certainly find internships and jobs. You can stay current on a variety of industry trends and also stay connected to professionals that you meet through networking opportunities both on campus and off, and also your classmates in the future. You all soon enough will be out working in a variety of different fabulous jobs, and you'll want to stay connected to each other. A strong profile has 7 things that we want to definitely take a look at. So the first one is this professional photo. So many of you might have that already, great. If not, at our career fair prep week, we are going to be doing professional photos. So in February, that will be taking place. If you miss that, typically we do it again in the fall, but there's lots of ways to get a professional headshot these days. I know my own iPhone in portrait mode takes pretty nice photos, so we can definitely get one pretty easily. We want one that includes just you, pretty close up, and in professional attire. Next up is your headline. So the headline should be something descriptive of you, just a quick sort of bulleted phrase that encompasses you in just a short, maybe 7-8 words for one sentence. We want an engaging summary, so this doesn't have to be super duper long, but definitely something that is going to be memorable for the reader. For your experience, number 4, we want to make sure that we're highlighting all of the relevant experience that you've had so far. If you have been working on your resume, which you hopefully you have, this will often look very similar to your experience section on your resume, so you can use that as a guide. Number 5 is your schooling. So we want to make sure that we give complete information about what our degree is, when we will be graduating. You can see here, you can change different languages. So this right here is the name of the degree for this particular graduate is in a different language. So just wanted to show you that that's a capability that you can do, is put some things in different languages. If you're an international business major and you're looking overseas, you can definitely do that. We can also, with number 6, show companies and specific groups our interest. So I would follow any companies that you have a strong interest in. That's good for 2 reasons. 1, it shows the company you're interested in them, and 2, it's going to help you stay current on any latest changes in the community, outside of the community with that company. You know, maybe there's been a recent acquisition or merger. So definitely a way to stay tied to companies, and as well as follow specific groups. This first one, Williams College of Business for Xavier, you can definitely join that. You can follow the mentor program, which we think is great, certainly. Xavier University alumni you can join. That is something that you can join as a current student. So one other way to get connected to our alums. And then there's also this Women Leaders of Cincinnati that you could join. So there's lots of great groups. So I encourage you to start following companies and joining groups and following those groups on LinkedIn. Customize the URL is our last important point. You can just go with the default for LinkedIn, but our recommendation is to go ahead and change this. You can, on your profile, just add your name there, and that's really the best way to go versus the default. Individuals be able to remember your LinkedIn profile. It will look more professional on your resume if you add it there. So definitely go ahead and do that. If you need help with your LinkedIn or you want us to review it, you definitely make an appointment with Career Development. So you've worked on your brand a bit. So you've thought about what you like, what type of brand you want to get out there. You've worked on your LinkedIn. So now it's really time to put our brand in action. And part of that is communication, and especially through things like email. Here's an example of not a good email that someone could receive. I'm not happy. They've misspelled my name right away. The punctuation's not where we want it to be. And they're asking for sort of a quick turnaround. They need help with an application, and they're asking if they're free that particular day at 3. So probably not the best way to get our request across. If we take a look here at this one below, a little bit more finessed. So it's got a greeting, and then we've got the body of the email. We are being conscious of what we're asking, why we're asking it, and giving the individual a little bit of time to follow up on that particular request. Okay, so the deadline's on Sunday. I'm hoping to submit it on Friday. There's not a date on this request, but let's assume that it was on Monday, so that they're giving the individual all the way until Friday to get back. And then certainly we will always want to thank people for their time. So this is our brand. I mean, if we're not taking the time to do emails, then the brand that we put out there is going to be compromised. Remember your email etiquette. You can't get it back once you've sent it, unfortunately. So just slow down. I know we're all busy and there's a lot going on with classes and work, etc. But take the time to spell the person's name correctly and use the name they indicate. So, you know, you might see online a formal name, but perhaps when they came and spoke to your class, you know, they indicate to all of the students to call them by their first name. So just pay attention to those clues. Certainly be succinct, ask for what you need help with, be very clear, and white space is your friend, so that just makes it easier for the reader. Proofread, know your audience. So if you're emailing a friend, that's one thing. If you're emailing a professor, that's something else. So we definitely need to pay attention to the receiver and respond promptly. So if you send a request and they indicate, sure, I can help, then go ahead and reply back. Okay, just don't let that hang out there and let the individual wonder if you're actually going to send that document. So if it's going to be a little bit later, I would go ahead and reply, thank you so much. I'm finalizing my application. I will send it your way tomorrow morning. So definitely take the time. You may think that email isn't consequential, but it definitely is an important part of building your brand. If you can't get in touch with someone, or they indicate that their preference is to give them a call, call them. Don't think, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and email them, even though they said give me a call. Definitely pay attention to what they're saying. That is their preference, and they're actually asking you to call them, right? It's not a reach out blindly. Definitely have a professional outgoing voicemail message. So if you're going to be calling individuals, then make sure that if they call you back, what they hear is professional. Again, that's part of your brand. Now let's make everything that you do count. So my favorite quote about a brand is this right here. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. We've all known people where just the mention of their name elicits a response, right? So sometimes not so good. Oh, that person drives me crazy. They're always late, or they never return my calls. Or it's positive, which is what we want, right? Oh, that student is so hardworking. They're always showing up on time. They've responded to my requests, very promptly. So think about what people are saying when you're not around, right? Face to face, how do we do that? So we want to create lasting impressions. So think about the interactions that we make with people. We want to dress the part. We want to be dressed professional in clothing that is both well-fitting but also comfortable. When you are engaging with individuals, either at a career fair or maybe something online now, of course, it's mostly virtual. Put your cell phone away. We don't want that to be the lasting memory of you. Think about, again, the individuals that you know and that you have very positive thoughts about after you leave. And think about why that is. Did they look you in the eye? Did they provide a nice strong handshake? Did they really listen when you were talking? Did they ask appropriate follow-up questions? So think about those reasons that individuals make lasting impressions on you. When we think about brand in terms of businesses, this is often what we're thinking about. So it's a set of expectations, memories, stories, relationships that, when all taken together, account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. So that would be true certainly of a product or service for a company, but it's also true of people. So all of the things that you do together, your email, your responses in person, your performance at an internship, your performance in class, all of these things together make up your brand and will let others choose you over another. So definitely building your professional brand is something that you can work on now. It's something that you're going to be working on now throughout your career. If you have additional questions about how to do this, if you have struggled with maybe some of these things in the past with maybe email, or you're not as comfortable connecting with people one-on-one or in a virtual setting, we have a variety of career staff that can help you. So we encourage you to do that. Reach out for appointments, and we will do our best to make sure that your professional brand is the best that it can be. Thank you so much. Take care.